I think that Donald Trump is the most grave threat that we will face to our democracy in our lifetime and potentially in American history.
She joins a growing chorus.
I think he's unfit for office.
He will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else.
I would not vote for Trump in 2024. I didn't vote for him in 2020. I did in 2016. By the time I left the White House, I was convinced he was not fit to be president. I think it's a danger for the United States if he gets a second term.
Indictment. I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution, but I chose the Constitution. I mean, I really do believe that anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets of our nation's capital. That's right.
To this shortly. Is Donald Trump a grifter?
Yes, he's a grifter. They have the same chemistry, these types of people. They objectify human beings. They don't look at you or me as flesh and blood and develop empathy for us. They see us as either means to get them to a place that they need to get to, and therefore then they can immediately discard you, or they'll run over you with indiscrimination. So, yes, he's a grifter.
Good at. This is Donald's true superpower. He has the ability to make people believe that he knows what he's talking about and that he can actually accomplish what he says that he can accomplish. He cannot.
He leaves in his wake ruined lives like this, the people who went up to Capitol Hill, these individuals, many of the people who served him in government that got sucked into things, and he just leaves all this carnage in his wake.
Do you think he cares about that?
No, he doesn't care about that. Loyalty is a one-way street for him.
Because Donald Trump, he really wants to hurt people. You know, he excites the racism. He excites the division. He brings out, Donald Trump is more in that political sociopathic behavior where he wants power over other things that are probably more important than power.
I'm not going to try to get into the mind of Donald Trump because I don't think there's a whole lot of space there. I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
I mean, this guy claims to be a multi-billionaire, and he goes out and raises money from hardworking people, small donors, and tells them this is to defend America and to, take care of the election. He didn't provide any significant support during the 22 elections, and a lot of this money seems to be going to his legal fees.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it. The people who stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions of their president. And having that belief was a foreseeable consequence of the growing crescendo of false statements, conspiracy theories, and reckless hyperbole, which the defeated president kept shouting into the largest megaphone on planet Earth.
Clearly, he's comfortable doing heartless things. Clearly, he doesn't seem to be interested in empathy. So I think it's safe to say, yeah, sure, he demonstrates sociopathic tendencies. And I think it's equally safe to say that he is not high functioning at all. And that's something that should give every person in this country pause.
You got to vote blue, because if this guy gets back into the White House, I don't even know how to explain the damage that he will do to our democracy. We will never see the America that we know ever again. We will not be passing on the democracy that we know to our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and generations to come.
I only want to be a dictator